everybody. It's Saturday and it's time to talk about African art. It's African Art Talks with Eric, and my name is Eric Amoakwa-Boadu. As usual, every single Saturday, I bring you a genius from the Black community to talk about creativity. Specifically, we talk about art, but I'm open to all forms of creativity from the Black community. And today is no different. Today is no different. I've got you a special guest whom I've been looking up to for some years now. I've been following his work, and I love what he does in the space of contemporary art. But I will read his bio. But before I do that, do me a favor, hit on that subscribe button right now so that you can join in this community of promoting Black art, Black creativity, and anything that comes from the Black space, which is good. That's the message that we're trying to promote. So wherever you are open to even write in comments, and I'll pin them there. If you have any questions for my guest, whom I'll be introducing very shortly, you are welcome to just write in the comment box and I'll paste it right here. But do well to also invite your friends to come aboard. Let's enjoy this ride. So let's read his bio and then we'll carry on with the program. I hope you're all doing well. UK is great. The weather is great. And I'm feeling very, very pumped up for this interview. Hope you are too. Right. So my guest is TAFA. TAFA, T-A-F-A is his name. And he is, I'll let him pronounce his full name when he comes on board. But he's an artist who describes his work or his practice as meaning to materialize the transient, the spiritual, within ordinary and commonplace social pursuits, such as organized sports and also socio-political issues like marches and protests. Now, in his protest pieces, he dissects almost surgical and atmosphere moods, philosophy, and history of a march. He says that sports is a metaphor for life. The arena or stadium is not just a physical space, but it is a unique synagogue, temple, and basilica. There are gods and deities, worshippers, and devotees in a game. Now, primarily he used the medium of painting to actually tell us a story of how artists face their anxieties. He draws connections between the spectacle of their performance and the mythos that is collectively woven around our human experience. His works evoke a sense of our deeply valued aspirations. He says, I am like the divine drama. TAFA's paintings have been exhibited in Europe, Japan, Canada, South America, Africa, and the US. He has won several awards, which we'll be talking about, but some of which include Superior Court Washington Award. He has his collections in there. His collections are also in the Barclays Bank, Sparrow Hospital, Michigan, Shell Company, Ghana's National Museum, several of them, the New York City Mayor's Office. Some of them even include the former President Bill Clinton and a whole lot of other collectors. So I will not expose you to everything he's achieved because I'm bringing him live today for him to tell you exactly who he is. Let us learn more about him. So as I bring him on board, let him feel welcome. Be free, as I said earlier on, to ask him all the questions that you've got because we want to know him for who he is. Great. Let's do him the honors and bring him on right now. Hello, TAFA. How you doing?
Hey, hello, Eric.
Good to see you, actually.
Thanks for having me on. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. And thanks for also honoring the invitation of coming on this interview.
You're welcome.
Great. So how are you doing today? How's the whole atmosphere in US?
Wonderful. But I need to say one thing.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing this interview in the Ghanaian language ever. So I'm just kidding.
You know, you scared the hell out of me.
No,
I wish I could speak a word in ever. My wife is quite good. She's got a few words here and there, but when it comes to ever, oh my goodness.
Don't worry about it.
No, nice.
The weather is beautiful.
One.
It's beautiful in New York. It's 67, 65 degrees. It's
fantastic.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Fantastic. Right. So let's dive straight in because we've got a lot to talk about today. Take us all the way back to your creative journey, where you began, all the way to when you were a child, what you remember about it, and let's take it from there. We'd like to know you as a person.
I started doing art. I don't really remember, right? It's since I was a baby, maybe 5 years, 4 years.
Wow.
So I was actually born in Nima.
Okay.
In Accra. Yeah. So and so I've always been doing art, and then I went to school, high school in Cape Coast,
Wow.
Agri Memorial Secondary School.
All right.
And then I went to art school in the College of Art, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. And yeah, and now I live in New York City.
That's right.
Basically, you can ask more detailed questions.
Definitely. So from childhood days, you had creativity in you. At primary school, did any of your teachers pinpoint on that? Did they highlight it? Did friends pay you special attention because of that talent?
Very interesting, because I remember when I was in kindergarten, right? And we used to play a game. And the game we played is that, we used to write on the slate, right? It's a slate, and we write the chalk. Yeah, the chalk and slate. Then we used to play a game called Sinika Chalk, right?
Okay.
So you draw something on your slate, right? And then if somebody wants to see it, right, they give you a piece of chalk, and then you expose it to them, right? Yeah. And I remember getting a lot of pieces of chalk because all the kids wanted to see what I drew.
Oh, you had, yes.
Yeah. So that's when I realized that I was good at it, right? If the other kids saw something special in it, that means that I really was doing something that you like. Yeah.
All right. Okay. And then from then on, you moved to Agri Memorial. Shout out to all the Agri students.
Yeah, Amosa in the house.
There you go, in the house. So all Amosa in the house, come and join your brother. Let's make sure that we get to know more of what he's done since the days of Agri Memorial. Within secondary school, did you have any art mentors over there? Did you look up to any teachers?
I think it all started in before Agri, right? Before going to secondary school, that's where it started. I used to when I was like 8 years old, right? Okay. There was this guy who he was an artist, he was a carver, right? And he would do his carvings on this. There was this abandoned carpenter's bench, right? So on my way to school, I would see him there, and then he'll make drawings on wood, and he'll be carving them.
Okay.
And many a time, I just go and stand there and watch this guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Long before I knew about Picasso, Leonardo da Vinci,
all these Western.
Yeah, or before I knew about abstract expressionism, French impressionism.
Yeah.
There was this guy, I didn't know his name, but his nickname was Chi Banana.
That's it.
Right. And Chi Banana was like my first inspiration. I'll go watch him. And so one day I was watching him, I think it was Sunday, I was watching him carve and draw stuff. And he told me, hey, I heard how you can draw. And I said, a little bit. He said, no, your friend says you're really good.
Okay.
And I was shy because this was the master, right?
The master in the area.
The Picasso of my childhood. And he said, okay, you know what? I'll give you a piece of wood, and then you can draw something on it. And I will carve it, and he will carve it. I was scared, because this is professional, right? So he gave me the plank of wood, and I did a drawing on it, and then started carving it.
Wow.
So that was almost like my baptism of fire.
That's right.
Yeah. So when that happened, it gave me so much confidence, and it opened something, up in my soul, in my mind, in my brain. Yeah.
That's very interesting, because I have this very similar story. There was a similar carver in our area. In Ghana, they've got street side artists, they've got carvers. The carpenters actually display their work by the street side where customers come by. There was one there as well, very similar to what you're saying. So very inspiring, where they carve all these designs on these wooden panels for doors of houses. That's amazing. That's amazing. That really got you into the confidence of knowing that you could do something.
And I was also doing so many things, right? I remember writing a children's book
at that age.
I was just a little kid, and then I looked for all these pieces of paper, sewed them together, and then just wrote a children's book. It wasn't published or anything, but I just started doing it, And in the evenings, we lived in my grandfather's house, which was like a really big round house with a big compound in the middle. And so in the evenings, in the daytime, right, I look for very hard cardboards and make drawings on them, and then carve the drawings out. So in the evenings, I will look for this table and put a white cloth over it. And so I would go under the table with my candle.
That's it.
And so it was like a shadow puppet kind of thing. So I would entertain the grown-ups, and everybody would come watching my movies. Right?
That is amazing. Did you see anyone else do it before you could, or you just did it?
I don't remember. I don't remember. Really amazing. I just did it, and it wasn't once. Almost every evening, people look forward to TAFA's little movies.
So the art of storytelling and creativity was,
storytelling. Storytelling was very important. Storytelling. I was lucky, right, that there was some stories that I knew that my cousins who were born like in the village. So today when I tell them, they're surprised. How do you know all this? Because I was lucky to live with my my grandmother and my grandfather. And so they were incredible storytellers.
That's it.
So in the evenings, even though we live in Accra, it was almost like living in the countryside. We gathered around my grandfather, and then he would tell us stories, right?
Reason.
So that led to the storytelling, and it did something in my imagination.
Generally, we know Nema to be quite a rough part of Accra, isn't it?
Yes, tell me about it.
Really rough. I've got a lot of friends in Nema. Artist friends in Nema, and they tell me all these stories, and I'm like, wow, how do you even lift yourself out of this challenge and become an artist? Did you face any challenges as such? Bad influence or anything?
Eric, when I was a child, the younger adults, right, or the teenagers, or sometimes even older adults, right, we will send you to go and buy weed for them. You're 6 years old, right? You're 6 years old, and you know where to buy it. Right? So Nema was a really, really rough.
That's it.
It was really rough. It was really, really rough, and
it still is, isn't it?
It still is. And this guy I'm talking about, Chibanana, I think the area got to him.
Right.
Because he was a heavy drinker.
That's right.
And he was a substance abuser. So he was a tortured soul. In the quest to survive in the neighborhood, a lot of people did not make it.
That's right. But thank God you made it. I think creativity was a part of it. So let's talk a bit more about Agri Memorial. What subject area did you pursue? Did you pursue art straight away, or you delved into, in Ghana, we have this notion of if you are not into the sciences, or if you're not doing economics or whatever, then you're not bright enough.
I did science.
Okay.
Right. I did physics, chemistry, math. additional maths, more than math. Yeah, so I did science.
So you were a pure science student?
Yeah, I was a science student.
Wow.
And some people who don't, a friend called me from London, right?
Right.
William. And I hadn't seen him since we completed school. And somehow he got my number. And when we were talking, he was like, "Oh my God, I've been looking for you." I mean, he was so excited, right?
That's
because we were good friends. We were good. And I think what he really wanted to know, right, was actually what I'm doing now.
What you've become, yes.
Yeah. So he was like, "TAFA, so what are you doing? What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm an artist."
That's right.
And he was like, he was crestfallen. His face just fell, right?
Yeah.
He was like, "TAFA, why? What happened? You were such a good science student, And I said, what do you think? I mean, what was your impression? What do you have in mind? And he said, "No, I thought you were like in med school, or you went to, even if you didn't go to the sciences." And he said, "I knew you even make a good lawyer because you were very good in,
debate."
Stuff like that. And so he was like, so I mean, that goes to show, even though he's lived in London, right, a long time, you still have the mentality, like if you are an artist or if you pursue art, it wasn't noble enough, right? It wasn't fulfilling enough.
Yeah.
But
what really inspired you to keep pushing to be an artist? What really got you there? Because with all these challenges, I'm not sure whether your parents also had skepticism with becoming an artist, but what made you pursue art?
Well, my parents did not see art as something profitable, right? Because they were worried about you making a living, right?
Exactly.
It's all about making a living.
Yeah.
And so when I came to the States, there were people who advised me, and they were like, "Look, you could go to any school you want to go, right? Go to law school, you could go to medical school," especially people who knew me in high school.
That's right.
So, but I really didn't want to do what I was. It's not just what. It's not just any profession, right? I wanted to do something that I was passionate about, right? I want something that my soul would be at peace, and say, "This is what I really want to do."
That's right.
And I'll be, so that's what it's about, passion, And people told me in New York City, you're like, "Hey, look, it's only about maybe 5% of artists who make it."
True.
Right?
A very competitive.
Yes. Yeah, especially in New York City, right? The artists from all over the world, from Azerbaijan to Zimbabwe.
Right.
Yeah. So, but if you put your mind to anything and you believe in yourself, I think you can reach any goal that you want. Just believe in what you're doing.
That's amazing. So did you have your university, your college days? You went to art college. Was it in Ghana or?
Was in Ghana, yeah.
In Ghana. All right. Is it Ghanata?
No, it's the College of Art in Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and
Technology. Right. Yes. So you went to KNUST. All right.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And over there, what was the atmosphere like? Did you have a lot of students pursuing art in there, or was it still a looked down subject?
It was still like the students who were pursuing something like engineering and stuff like that always thought that art was not important, and So I mean, even if you are not told, right, it's something that you can feel, right?
Yeah. That's something that we need to change, and that's why we're having this conversation to educate future artists or future the whole society, actually, especially in Africa, to look at art differently.
Yeah.
Really important. Really
it
important.
Is very important. It is very important. Yeah.
So, a young guy, carry on, please.
Yeah, and people forget that people love the product of art, right? it's the art is not that important. They think that the art is not that important, but all these things that art gives birth to, right? How can we live in this world without art?
Without art,
right? Our buildings, our everything, our cars, our clothes, and oh my God, art is everywhere.
Exactly.
Art is everywhere, but they don't see it. Most people don't see it like that, especially back home.
Yeah.
You know,
so this continuous education really helps.
yeah.
Right. Let's take it to the early days, young freshman. You've gone to New York. We know the hustle and bustle of being outside of the country.
Yeah.
How did you so sustain this quest of being?
I think the hardest part of it was like you're from Ghana, right? In New York, you're in New York City, right? And the folks back home think that, oh, once you're here, you've made it. You're 6 months here, right?
They don't know what we've gone through. I'm telling you.
I know, you just, it's not even, some people stop talking to you because they're asking you for money, your friends and your family, right?
Exactly.
And when you say you don't have it,
they don't believe it.
They don't believe it. It's skeptical that no, it's not true. I mean, you know, like when you get to America or you get to Europe or you get to Britain, then you become a bad person. You become a wicked person.
They don't know.
Yeah. So but I was really lucky. I was fortunate that when I came here, there were this group of African American artists, right, who really held my hand.
Okay.
Right. And they encouraged me, they inspired me. And, you know, there were people like Otto Nils, Ademola, there were people like Osby, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. So this was like a new family for me.
That's it.
You know, there was a Nubian Women's Art Circle, which is like a group of African American Black women who loved art, right, and encourage artists, and they had shows and stuff like that. They collected art. So the first few years, these people were just incredible. Yeah, just incredible.
That's amazing.
They made me feel so much at home. Wonderful, amazing people. Yeah.
Great. So that encouraged you to pursue and face all the challenges, but still stick to this art thing. We're going to show a few of your artworks, and then we'll have a discussion around the artworks. And then we'll come back to bits of conversation about Ghana. So viewers, stay in tune. These are beautiful, beautiful pieces that I'd like us to talk about. Your work, I think, normally centers around sports and other things which you can talk about.
Yeah.
Is this one of your recent pieces, or are these the new one, old ones?
The one on the left, right? The basketball piece is I've had it for a while. This probably about 10 years old.
All right. Okay.
The soccer player, the bicycle kick.
Yeah.
That's a new one. Yeah, that's a new one. That's like I did that this year, 2023. Yeah.
These are beautiful, beautiful pieces that we've got here. So what really what's the story that you're trying to tell with these sports pieces? Why do you gravitate towards sports and activities?
Yeah, you know, of course, growing up in Ghana, soccer was a thing. Like almost every kid played soccer, right? So I love soccer. And one thing about, there is this political, social aspect about sport to me, right? Dr. King, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. says something, right, that kind of underlines the way I see sport.
Right.
He said he wished that his children would be seen, right?
That's it.
Based on the content of their character and not the color of their skin, right? So sport kind of underlines that for me, right? It's in sport that people don't care who your dad is, who your father is, who your connections are.
That's
right.
True.
If Sadio Mane is great, the scouts who go to everywhere, they go to that little hamlet, that little village.
Oh, yes.
Right, and pick that boy out. Right. The young man knows nobody just because they have the talent. You know. So sport kind of says that if we can judge people based on who they are, it will make the world a better place. You know, based on meritocracy. You know, not who you are, who you know. Because if you perform right in sport, it's obvious, it's crystal clear. Everybody sees the performance. You know, so that's what sports means to me. And also, sport it's even in places where religion is becoming less important in their lives. Sports stars have become like the gods of the day, the deities of the day.
Exactly.
There is a story that I heard, I don't know if it's true, but I hope it is, that when the Biafran war was raging on, right, in the mid-60s, Pele was touring Africa, right?
Yeah.
He was in Ghana, he was in Nigeria.
That's right.
So when he was in Nigeria, there was a game between Santos of Brazil, for which Pele played, and the Nigerian national team.
Yeah.
And they had to stop the war.
Just for Pele.
Yes, so that both warring factions could watch the game on TV.
That is so powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. You know,
that is the power of sports.
That's the power of sport, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That is amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah.
We've got a few comments that's come through. Let's read them and then we'll carry on with the interview. So a comment from our own friend Ben Abe. Ben says, wow, TAFA has been one of my mentors, I think is what he's trying to say. He's still strong in the art world. He took me to some important places in New York and met some big African-American artists. So
hey, Ben, what's up?
Thank you, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
I mean, for viewers who don't know Ben, I interviewed him about a month ago, and he introduced TAFA to me as well. So I got TAFA's number through Ben. So thank you, Uncle Ben. And another comment from my own wife, Marie. Marie says, great job to both of you. So thank you, Marie.
Marie, thank you so much. Yeah.
So yes, let's carry on with the interview that we're having. We're just looking at works from TAFA at the moment, and he's telling us his life story, the journey from where he began to where he's going is what we're trying to capture here. So if you have questions for TAFA, put it in the comment box and I'll display it so that we can all have fun. TAFA can answer your questions, or where I can do so as well. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do well to do so as well, so that every Saturday, if I bring someone on, they can be a part of this story. So we've got these two powerful pieces, and what I like about them is the energy. You have a lot of energy in your pieces. Why is that
Thank
so?
I just love rippling energy. I just love movement. When I paint, the one on the right, it's I went to this concert, and there was this lady who played the violin, and I was so moved. I don't remember her name. I was so moved that when I came to the studio, the inspiration led me to do this painting, which I called it Red Violinist or something. Yeah. Right. So I wanted you to see the sound, you see the energy, see the movement, see the sound, everything. That's what it is. And then the one on the left. Oh, go ahead.
You can really feel the energy in it.
Thank you. And the one on the left is called, I think, Spirit Exaltation, right? Mm-hmm. It's a woman who has liberated herself from all the shackles of whatever is burdening society, and so she's in she's about in flight, right? She's almost like flying free.
Right.
Yeah, that's what that means.
That is another powerful piece. So how do you conceptualize before you actually paint these things? What process do you go through before you start a new project?
Very interesting. I think it's not very different from other artists. Some pieces just when I face the virgin canvas empty, sometimes ideas just come to me. Other times I have ideas and I marinate on them for months, sometimes years, and I'm thinking of what to do and how to do it, what colors to use, what the concept is going to be, and then so it's both ways. It can be spontaneous and instantaneous, and it can also be very thoughtful and pensive. And,
sometimes when you're trying to with an idea which is not really materializing, sometimes it can be torturous as well.
It is, and sometimes what you think is going to come out, it doesn't really come out like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, sometimes it comes out differently. I have instances where I'm working on a piece, I'm working on a painting, and I look at it and I said, "Oh, it looks like it's done, right?" But then I said, "No, it's not done. Let me work more on it." And then I work on it again, and I said, "Oh my God, this is not where it's supposed to go. I like it 1 hour ago, So let me recapture how it looked like an hour ago, and that's almost impossible."
Wow.
Yeah. So sometimes what I do now is if I paint and I'm liking it, I'm inspired, and I'm having that satisfaction visually and mentally, I say to myself, okay, just leave it alone. So I leave it alone and come back the next day.
That's right.
And then if I still like it, then I probably sign it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I think that's a good approach, rather than just instantaneously just try to change it to suit at that time. Yes.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Right, let's have a look at this one. These two pieces, different color schemes and all that, but the energy is still the same. Can you talk about these, please?
Yeah, the one on the left, right? The one in the earth tones and ochre and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's called Baloful's song for Sankara.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my celebration of the life of, the African, I would call him a visionary and a patriot and a nationalist. Yeah. So that's my celebration of, because when I wanted to paint that, I remember that way back as a child in Lima, there were these traveling xylophone players, right?
Right.
And most of them came from north, right? From the northern part of Ghana, Burkina Faso and stuff like that. And sometimes I will follow them whenever they play, because they play, they play and then you give them money and then they go to the next person, they play.
Exactly.
So yeah, so when I decided to paint Sankara, the celebration of Sankara, I decided to use that one. Yeah.
All right. So for my viewer, yes, carry on, please.
And the other one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that one. That one is called Drum Song for Winnie Mandela.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I like your titles as well. Very relevant.
Thank you.
Very relevant. And for whatever action that you depict, you can actually feel the vibration. You can, if it's drumming, you can actually feel the vibration of the drum as you look at the artwork. So great job there. For those of you who don't know Sankara, Sankara was one of the vibrant visionary African leaders for Burkina Faso, West Africa. And he died well before his time, I think, from my personal.
Yeah, he was executed. He was killed. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. So great homage to Thomas Sankara on the left and on the right to Winnie Mandela as well. beautiful, beautiful painting. Right. So talking about your process, do you normally listen to music whilst you paint, or you don't?
Most of the time I listen to music.
You listen to music?
To music as a paint. Yeah.
What type?
What type of music?
Yeah.
Yesterday I was listening. I painted yesterday. I was listening to some Bob Marley.
Okay. Yeah.
I also listened to some Eja Konimo.
Okay.
And my Nima homie Shatawale.
You can't miss that one. Nima has to come in.
My Nima homie Shatawale has to be in.
Exactly. And Shatta is a creative genius. He's also yeah. So why do you listen to different genres in your creative process?
Oh, I'm just naturally a curious person, right? So when it comes to music, my taste is very eclectic, you know. So I listen. If it speaks to me, I listen to it. There are very few music that I don't listen to. Yeah.
All right, that's amazing, and that really allows you to come up with these genius pieces, which we're going. So these, I think, there's a trend also in your subjects, and these are to do with demonstrations as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So why
demonstrations? Go ahead. Well, please go ahead. Yeah.
Why demonstrations?
Because wherever we are, right, it's a struggle. It's all people who struggle who pay the price for us, right, and to make the world a better place for us, you know, especially as a person of color in America, and also, as a member of the human family.
Yeah.
There's always been demonstrations, and if there's a cause I believe in, and there's a call to demonstrate, I take the chance and go. So I've been in demonstrations, Black Lives Matter, anti-war demonstrations, all that.
We'll touch on that in more details further down the line. But it really reflects in your painting the fact that you've actually been physically on the road, when it comes to demonstration. It actually reflects in your painting. But let's leave that on the side and then move on to some awards that you've won along your journey. In 2010, I think you did win a Sports Artist of the Year award during the World Cup. Tell us a bit more about it. What happened? How did you even get into it?
Yeah, there is this University of Sports, right, in Alabama, and every year they have this competition for sport art. So it's a worldwide competition.
Right.
So someone told me about it. Right. Someone saw my sport pieces and said, "Hey, why don't you
enter?"
Enter. So I did. Yeah, I did. So it was beautiful.
And you won the first prize.
And it was beautiful. It was
amazing.
The same time that Ghana was in the World Cup in South Africa and Mandela was president.
That's it.
Yeah. So that was beautiful.
That's such a great feeling. Such a great feeling.
Yeah.
And then following on from there, I think you've done a lot of sports pieces that has won you awards. But one that really, really stands out is the work that you did at Madison Square Garden. Guys, Madison Square Garden is such a huge, for those of you who don't know, such a huge venue with all manner of sports players or celebrities taking part in activities over there. And when it comes to special guests who perform, it's normally musicians, isn't it? We've got huge artists, but not visual artists. And understand you are the first visual artist who has painted an event live. That is incredible.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. That was a really, really, it was amazing. It was beautiful, right? But it was also stressful when the call came that they wanted me to do the live painting. Because the basketball takes about 45 minutes.
That's it, yes.
Right? and you have to complete the painting within the duration of the game, right?
Wow.
And the crowd and the energy, right? And it was a challenge, but it was a very beautiful experience. You know,
Amazing.
It was a beautiful experience.
Let's put people in perspective, and then we'll let you talk more about it. I'm just going to play this video, a very short video,
Okay.
and then we'll. So that is a very glimpse. I didn't want to play the whole video, but a glimpse of what
Eric, you bring everything back now.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to do, just to bring you down to what you did on that day. I can imagine the pressure. I mean, those who want to watch it again, let's play it again. Wow, I can imagine the pressure. I mean,
Eric, you have to remember one thing, that there are cameras on you, right?
Okay.
The cameraman and assistants are there, right? Okay. So it's not like in your studio, right? Yeah. Where you have you are in your own world. There's nobody around, and you are in your zone, right? This is like, hey, the cameramen are there, the assistants are, so you're not the only person there.
You can't go wrong.
Yeah. But it was wonderful. It was a wonderful opportunity. It was beautiful.
I can imagine. And Ben says congratulations on that front.
Thank you.
I mean, for you to achieve that feat is something else. The pressure, the amount of people, the assistants, the time frame itself is something else. Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? A lot of artists will kill for that opportunity, so can't complain, right?
And can't complain, as you said. This is the finished piece of what you produced, brilliantly done. And as a result, I think I can see an important personality on the right-hand side, past President Clinton on the right-hand side. How did it all happen?
Oh, Bill Clinton is an avid art lover. Okay. Right. And what really attracted, what really stayed with me, right, indelibly seared in my brain, is the personality of Bill Clinton, right?
Wow. Yeah.
You think you have known him for 20 years.
That's right.
When you're talking to him, you think he's an old friend.
Wow. Right? Very personable.
Yes, and the memories, I mean, his brain, he remembers everything. Because we talked about him being in Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah. And he remembers everything. Everything.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he remembers everything. So I'm really, really grateful for Bill Clinton. I can say everything, but he's one of the people that I'm just indebted to. Yeah, indebted.
Great, that is fantastic. So after this painting, I believe that the media was all over you because it's not been done before. How did it make you feel?
Wonderful. Yeah, beautiful.
I just clicked on the internet and all these just came up. The Academies of 2010 Sports Artist of the Year. What does it say? It says you had a live painting over there. There's an article on you in 2017. You had another one in the middle from, I think it was, another article on that painting. And then we had Amsterdam News also reporting on it. So it wasn't just restricted to the US.
Eric, how did you get all these?
Hey, I'm an investigative journalist, in quotes.
Do you work for the FBI or something?
I'm telling you. But no, you've done so well. You've made us proud because when you Google your name, I mean, the amount of articles on you is unbelievable. in a
Thank
positive
you.
manner.
Thank you.
It's in
Thank
a positive manner. You've done so well.
There's one negative one.
Right. Okay. What is that?
The painting, the Bin Laden painting.
You brought it up. I was going to hide it, but you brought it up.
Okay.
I'm going to play this video, and then we'll discuss the Bin Laden painting.
New York has had its share of art controversies. The Brooklyn Museum flap over the Virgin Mary covered with elephant dung. The photo of a crucifix submerged in urine at the Whitney. Well, now comes a painting that depicts Jesus with the face of Osama bin Laden. CBS 2's Maury Alter reports.
When it comes to freedom of speech, we live in an age where pretty much anything goes, unless it goes to religion. Should you go to the 10th Annual National Black Fine Arts Show in the Puck Building, you'll see displayed the works of some of America's most respected African-American artists. The Memphis photographer Ernest C. Withers, who covered some of the South's best and worst of times. You'll also find a painting by the Harlem artist TAFA, dealing with current times, depicting an upside-down Christ-like figure with a face resembling Osama bin Laden.
I could see that too.
An angry viewer emailed our website, charging in part, "This is outrageous. This is an attack against my religion. How can an artist go so low?" Most people are outraged, most Christians. On the phone, the artist told me he didn't want to be interviewed on camera, that the painting spoke for itself, but that the resemblance to Osama bin Laden was no accident. Does that offend you?
Not at all. It actually shows the state of the world today.
This man saw the resemblance, but not the problem.
Because it's artwork and it has to do with something else.
I'm not going to be offended at what someone else thinks.
The art show's producer, Josh Wainwright, who had not made the bin Laden connection, was unapologetic. Knowing what you know now, would you have barred that from being part of your show?
Absolutely not. I don't think it's...
Right. So that is shocking.
Oh, boy.
What you have to go there as an artist?
You have to go that deep, right?
Someone has to do it. Someone.
Okay.
Right. So let's have a look at the piece. This is the piece on the left-hand side, and I've just extracted aspects of it for us to review. The actual piece is upside down, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why is it upside down?
It's upside down because a lot of things in this world are upside down, literally, right? Because the painting is about, it's not just religion, right? It's about sociology, it's about politics, it's about, so if you look at the text, all the words around the painting, right? You see stuff like PLO, there is stuff like KKK, there's a lot of stuff.
That's right.
Nelson Mandela, right?
Yeah.
So so who is a terrorist and who is a freedom fighter, right? It's one of the questions that the painting delves into, you know. So you take someone like Nelson Mandela, right, who for a long time was classified and viewed as a terrorist, right, by the West. Until when he came out of jail, now he's celebrated, right? Now he's an honorary citizen of the world.
Yes.
And the people who demonized him, you know, now lionized him. So it's about stuff like that, right? It's about religion. It's about verses in the Bible and, you know, stuff like, so it's a deeper, it's not as superficial as those who criticize the piece. So, right, it's way deeper than that, you know. A lot more discussions can be had about the piece.
That's very, very true. Having mentioned Nelson Mandela, it will surprise us to know that it was only until 2008 that his name was taken off the terrorist list. Can you imagine?
Yeah, can you imagine that? Right?
Well into his presidency, he was still on the list.
Yeah, right. You see, so that's what. So the people and art, it's all right for art to be pretty beautiful and comfortable, right? Art that placates our sense of normalcy and what is acceptable. But sometimes art is like a Zulu spear, right? That taps into what we believe, what makes it comfortable, right? So sometimes that's what art is. In its purest form, art can do that. It can disturb us, right? It can poke questions, that are uncomfortable.
It has to do. It has to provoke a thought.
Do you know what happened to this painting, right?
Okay.
Someone called me. I actually got hate mail because of that.
Oh wow.
Right? Yeah. Someone called me. I got some. Someone called and he said he wanted to buy the painting, right? Okay. For a kind of ridiculous price, right? Like way higher than what anything I ever thought, right? So then I asked them, where is it going to go? Wherever my pieces go, I want to know the name and address of the collector. And they said, no, it's going to be anonymous.
Okay.
And I said, no.
That's it. It's just
a bait,
just to pull you into something.
Well, I don't know what they're going to do with the piece. And I said, no, no.
Good point. Good point. That's one note. You've got several notes on it, but one at the top. If viewers are looking at it, at the center of the page of the artwork, at the right top, I've zoomed into it on the bottom right-hand corner. It says, and actually destroy all that they have.
Yeah.
And what does it say? And do not spare them, but kill both man and woman, infant and nursing child, ox and sheep, camel and donkey. I mean, where did you get that from? That is quite a harsh statement, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very harsh statement. If you, most people who saw the piece, right, when they saw that, probably about 85% of people ask me if it's from the Quran. And when I tell them it's from the Bible, there's a kind of shock, right? Yeah, there's people, because I think it's when King Saul was asked to strike the Amalekites, right? And then he was told that God told him, don't spare anybody, right? Kill all of them. Kill even their babies and their infants.
That's it.
Right. Kill even their pets.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not making any judgments or anything, but it's bringing up a discussion.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, about religion and about God and about our humanity.
Yeah. About the different sides of God as well. We all think God is just the pious, nice person.
Yeah.
All no, he's got sides of him. And that's why he says that he created us in his own image. That's why we've got different shades of people in this world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for those of you who want to know where this verse is, if you think TAFA is lying, go to 1 Samuel 15 verse 3, and you will see this verse right there. It says, now go and strike the Amalekites and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. Yeah, it's in the Bible. And that's the power of art, to provoke you to think outside of the box.
Yes.
We've also got Cecil Rhodes, Cold War heroes, Christian Columbus. We've got so many things on there.
Cecil Rhodes, right? Yeah, just a little bit about Cecil Rhodes.
Okay.
Cecil Rhodes, like, people are still giving Rhodes scholarships, right? And it's very prestigious, right? But if you look at the history of Cecil Rhodes, the millions of people that he murdered in the South African region, right? So it's the pieces about stuff like that, discussion.
Yeah. Because we can't be hypocrites in this world and just forget our history and just think nothing has happened, let's just move on very nicely.
Yeah.
No. Our history has to teach us something for our future.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like Marcus Garvey said, a person who knows not their history is like a tree without roots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rightly said.
Yeah.
Rightly said. And that is why you are taking us back to our history in order to guide us for our future through your paintings. And very nicely done.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we are doing that.
Yes, we are. These next two pieces center more on the protest and march. And what really caught my attention in the one on the left-hand side, at first I couldn't see it, but there are text in the blue section of it.
Oh, yeah.
Forms like the shape of someone on the, when there's a police mark when somebody is killed on the road or something, they draw around the body.
Yeah, they draw around the body. Yeah, yeah. So that's what it is.
Wow.
The blue area of the painting is the chalk drawing that the police or the security personnel do, right? They draw around the body.
Yes.
And the lines that make the drawing are the names of people who've been murdered by police.
Wow.
George Floyd,
Michael Brown.
Yes, it's a lot of so.
I can see names in there, all these names.
Yes. So that's what that painting is. It's very disturbing. It's a very disturbing painting.
Yeah.
But it's
It is necessary.
Yeah.
It is necessary. That is
it. Yeah, it is. It is.
And the one on the right-hand side?
The one on the right is called corporate welfare, right? It's really interesting, like what happens in the States where if you're an individual, right, and you do business and you fail, that's on you, right? But when corporations like the big banks were failing, the government have to say, oh, no, we can't make you fail, right?
Yeah.
So the taxpayers' money is used to make sure they don't fail. So they're giving loans, they're giving money, and they say, no, we don't want you to fail. So that piece is about the contradiction in the way that the privileged are treated and the underprivileged are, So that's what it is. Yeah.
So most of your work addresses societal issues, as we mentioned earlier on. Is it because of your upbringing in Nima? Did Nima where you want to see social justice? Is anything linking back to the past?
That's a funny question. Maybe, yes. Maybe it's possible.
That's right.
It's possible, right? Yeah. But it's ever since I was a kid, I love to read, right? Just the fact that we didn't have books in the house. There was no single book, right? But for some reason, I found a way with two other guys who were in my school. So I went to Nima 2 school, right? Nima 2 elementary school. So if there are any Nima 2 folks,
Nima 2. Shout out to all of you.
I don't think so. So I will walk from Nima, right? And then walk through Accra High School,
right?
And then walk to Adabraka, and then go to Accra Central near the Parliament House. I don't know if it's still there now. And then they have a children's library there.
Wow.
Right. So walk all the way to the library.
Access book.
Borrow a book and walk back home.
Wow.
Right. So I developed that habit. I don't know where it came from, but I just started reading voraciously. Right. So I read a lot, So and when you're reading all these things, it kind of opens your brain and you start to question stuff, and injustice in the world and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
That's right. Another powerful piece that you've got is this one. I mean, the statement is very clear. Can you throw more light on this piece?
Yeah, it's based on the same protest, and the piece I included a real police shield, right, in the painting. So you see the power of the shield. It's kind of like stopping the people from moving forward, right? The protesters, right? And somebody asked me, I remember I had a show. No, I don't know. My recent show in Chelsea, in New York City.
Right.
This piece was in the show, and this was also featured in The Guardian, right?
Yes.
So quite a few people asked me, where did you get a police shield? Because it's a real police shield.
Yeah.
right? So I told them there are two aspects of the story, where I got a police shield. There is the real story, and there is the sexy and romantic story.
Yes.
So I asked them, which one do you want to hear? And they said, tell us the romantic, the sexy one,
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, saw some guys who were some ruffians who were like criminals, not like petty criminals, right? So I asked them to steal the shield from the police precinct, and they did. So that's how I got it. But that's a sexy one. And then I said, and then the true one is that I bought it on eBay.
So you can actually have it on eBay.
Everybody likes the sexy story. They say, no, tell that one. Don't tell the other one.
I prefer that one. That's like a movie story. Yeah, that's like a movie story. Wow. So you had to go through buying it on eBay to be able to make that statement.
Yeah,
I think that statement has been really made and accomplished. I read the article on Guardian, and it was something else. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
So are you an activist? Because I can see several pictures of you protesting. I mean, the first one on the left says, Putin, stop the war. You've got things on Black Lives Matter, no war on Iraq. And you've actually physically gone to these demonstrations.
Oh, yeah. The first one on the left, Putin stopped this war. That was when, of course, self-explanatory. I went to the Russian embassy in New York City and did a solo exhibition there. Solo protest.
Solo protest there?
Wow. Yeah, I was the only person. So I went in front of the Russian embassy and to protest.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And we all know what took place in 2020, where we had these demonstrations for Black Lives Matter.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah. So that was the second one.
Yes.
And then the third one is the one on the extreme right. I think that's when the Iraqi war.
That's right.
So I was in a protest against the war. And well, it seems like we were right. Those of us who protested against the war were right? Because it came out that Iraq was attacked based on false premises, right? They didn't have weapons of mass destruction. So, so activists were right.
I think a lot of artists are activists as well.
Yes,
personally, I am one of them as well. I paint paintings that really fight against social injustice as well. And that's the voice that we've got in society to pictorially actually hammer on issues. And we do get results as well.
Yeah, we did. We do get results. Recently, like 2 years ago, there was this painting. It's a mural, right, on 125th Street in Harlem.
Okay.
And I read in the papers that this corporation bought the building, right?
Right.
And they didn't like they didn't like the mural because it's an incredible, gorgeous mural. So they were gonna. It's called the mural is called Spirit of Harlem. So they were gonna cover it up, right?
Oh, wow.
Build a wall over it, and so basically they were gonna destroy it. I was really angry. It disturbed me a lot. So I said, look, I'm gonna protest this.
That's it.
So I made a sign and went to the place, and I saw two other brothers who were there. So the three of us started protesting. The three of us.
Wow.
And then later, I learned that the corporation or the company decided to let the mural stay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's still there. Every time I pass by, I say, wow.
You're a part of that story. Exactly. Great job.
Thank you.
The final slide or the last but one slide I want to show is this one. I mean, there's a story that you told me about it yesterday that I'd like you to repeat because it's such a powerful story.
Oh, what's his name? You remember his name? Yeah. So there was a fire in the Bronx, right? He was a private in the U.S. military, a Ghanaian brother. So there was a fire in the Bronx, and he went into the fire. It's a building fire, apartment fire. He went into the fire and rescued somebody. He went in again and rescued people, right? And then finally, when he went the last time, he perished in the fire.
Oh dear.
Right? Yeah. So they were going to name a street after him. A friend of mine who is, an avid supporter of my work told me, "Hey, TAFA, you know what? Can you do a painting of the guy?" And I said, "Yeah, I've been thinking about that." And so I did it, and I went to the street naming ceremony, and presented it to the family.
Wow.
So if you're watching this, thanks for the commission for the family.
I think that was homage well paid for such a brave private, who
Yes. Yeah, he was incredible young man.
It's an incredible story.
Story. Wonderful story. Yeah.
Right. Let's go back to the books that you said you read. What are some of the books that really you would recommend for up and coming artists, or books that has really changed your life?
Oh, I think the books that made a really wonderful impression on me. There's a book I read when I was in secondary school, Form 1, right? Called Native Son. Right? Yeah, incredible. It just blew my mind, right? It opened certain areas of my brain that were closed, right? So I really recommend that. Just about struggle, life in America. And I also read another book that really impressed me, changed my life, was the autobiography of Malcolm X.
Okay.
Powerful book. And then the third one, you said 3, right?
Yes, 3, if you can. Yeah.
And the next one was a book written by Kwame Nkrumah called Dark Days in Ghana. Dark Days in Ghana. I think every African and lovers of Africa.
I need to get it.
Yeah, every lover, every Black person should read Dark Days in Ghana. Yeah.
Ghana.
Wow. So those 3 books. Yeah.
Amazing. I'll take
incredible,
that.
Incredible. You have to read it. Incredible.
You have to, yes. Yeah. I'll definitely get the books and read them as well. So right, for up and coming artists these days, we have technology which is infusing into our system. AI art has become of the time. What do you think about these software that are coming in, tools that are coming in, as you used to say?
Oh yeah, I've heard some what do you call them? Some traditionalists, right?
That's right.
Bashing AI, And
I've heard a lot of people bashing it.
Yeah, but I think it's a tool. Right? It's a tool that the artist has to feel free to use. It's just like stuff changes. I mean, everything changes, right? There's development, there's advancement. At some point in the Renaissance, or maybe we can even go to our cavemen and our ancestors, right? True. They had to mix the pigment with some fat, make their own paint and paint in the cave. Yeah. The egg was even, So then it advanced to a stage where artists, we don't have to mix the paint, right? The paint is already made, right? Technological advancement. So we use, ready-made paint, right? Or people even use projectors to draw on the canvas, right? I don't see anything wrong with it. I think it's a wonderful thing that I think if Picasso was alive, right? I think he would use AI to help us.
I think he would have used it.
Yeah. I think so. I think it's a wonderful tool.
One thing that you said that's really important that I want artists to get is that it's just another tool. Whatever comes out of it, you have to be a part of that story. You have to tell it from your creative imagination. You have to actually command it to give you something good. So we have to be a part of that tool. The tool has to be a part of our story, basically, the other way around.
Yes. It's like 3D printing, right? People using that to make sculpture.
That's true. That's true. Yes, really huge.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
It's like an architect saying that, 3D printing can now be used to build buildings, and I'm not going to use it. No, it's going to really increase the time it takes. So embrace it and use it to develop. Yes.
So
very well said. Very well said. Now, for up and coming Africans or Black artists or Black creatives who would like to break it into the commercial world, what advice have you got to them to give them?
Have passion for your work, right? Improve your craft. Keep doing it, right? Have time for yourself. Do it. Keep doing it. And I also suggest that artists should also know about the inner workings of the art world.
Yeah.
Right. Learn how what galleries do, how galleries work. Do not work in a vacuum, right? And I'll suggest that up and coming artists should read. There's a British economist who's written some books on art.
Right.
His name is Don Thompson. Thompson with a P, right? So
Thompson
with a P, right? Thompson. So he's written some books like I don't remember any, but if you type in his name,
it will just come up.
So that explains the art world to you, because sometimes you don't want to be hitting your head against the wall.
Not at all.
And not knowing what's out there, So if you know, then, and they should go to art shows and network with other artists. Artists should network with other artists, go to shows, work on your craft, and just keep pushing.
That's it.
Just keep pushing, And they're also working.
Thank you so much for the advice, and we all take it on board. What's the future for yourself, for TAFA? What's happening? Any future shows coming?
I'm trying to. I have a show coming up, and I've been invited to be in the show in St. Lucia.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it's a jazz festival. And they want some music related art, which I already have. So that's gonna be in about 3 weeks.
Amazing.
So that's what's.
I'll be following, and yes, if we need to talk about that nearer the time, definitely we'll make sure that we get together.
Wonderful.
Great. So if we want a bit of your piece, what do we do? Do we go through your Instagram, which I've displayed, or Facebook? These are your handles.
Both. Just send me a message, and we take it from there.
Fantastic. So definitely, yes. On Instagram, I'll display that again. Instagram, it's TAFA to TAFA, and on Facebook, it's TAFA B TAFA. Amazing. So if you do that, you'll get to see his wonderful pieces and contact him if you need it. Definitely, I'll be needing one of your pieces.
Wonderful.
So I'll get in touch back door.
Wonderful. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for making time for us on this Saturday and then sharing your story. We are so grateful.
Yeah, Eric, thank you so much. I really appreciate you inviting me. I love your work. Your work is wonderful. Just keep pushing, keep doing it. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the secret.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Don't be a stranger. Let's keep talking. Okay.
We have to. Definitely. We'll do.
Yeah.
We'll keep in touch. Thank you so much.
Okay. You're welcome. Okay.
So, viewers, wow, I could just carry on and on and on and on. I was loving the conversation, and definitely he gave us some great insights into his story, who he is, and his pieces of work that he's done so far, and the people that he's met as a result of the artwork. So, as he rightly said, keep pushing. If you're an artist over there, keep doing what you do best. Do not stop. Just keep going, and you never know where your art will take you. So every Saturday, I do bring you a creative from the Black community, and whether it's an artist, sculptor, any type of creative endeavor from the Black community, I would love to promote it. So if you have names of people that you'd like me to interview, just drop it in the comment box on YouTube. If you go to my channel is African Art with Eric. And if you go there, you'd see all the people that I've been interviewing every single week. And you also get the chance to interact with me. Just type a comment in there, drop in names of people that you'd like me to interview. And definitely, I will be more than happy to get in touch with the artist and arrange for an interview with them. So thank you for this Saturday and have a very brilliant weekend. We'll come back again next Saturday with another creative genius from the continent of Africa or beyond. So have a great week and God bless you.